Now, the Nursing and Midwifery Council has suspended a nurse and a midwife on separate counts of unprofessional conduct and breach of professional standards for 3 years. The decision against the two health practitioners came after the Professional and Disciplinary Committee of the Governing Board issued preliminary inquiry reports. Now, let's take a look at the complaint filed against these two professionals, which has triggered their revocation of license for 3 years. Now, let me bring you the case against Mrs. Sarah Sewa Major. According to the registrar and the council of the council, Mr. Felix Nyante, the council received complaint of malpractice against Mrs. Sarah Sewa Major, a registered midwife and owner of Cradle Care Maternity Hospital at Spintex Road in Accra. Now, Mr. Nyante said, having established a prima facie case of the complaints received and following the dissolution of the 13th Governing Board in 2017, the council had to wait till the inauguration of the 14th board to sit on the matter. Well, according to investigations, the complainant, name withheld, went into labor late night on Thursday, November 30, 2017, and visited the Cradle Care Maternity Hospital Trust to deliver her baby. Prior to that, the complainant and her husband had visited the hospital, where the midwife had briefed them of her professional experience, including the fact that she does not usually perform episiotomies but will put in place backup plans for any eventualities. The complainant noted that upon examination by the midwife, and noting that she had just 2 centimeters dilation, she was asked to go home and return after labor had set in. She returned to the hospital in the morning on Monday, December 4, 2017, and was delivered of her baby. She said that during and after the delivery of her baby, she observed the following practices as contained in her complaints to the council. The midwife asked the complainant's husband to cut the umbilical cord and with a blunt tool. She also forcibly and manually removed the placenta amid excessive bleeding and only removed part of it. And she did not consult with any doctor, although she assured them of consulting one in case of difficult situations. We've been joined by the PRO of the Nursing and Midwifery Council. I'll bring you details of the other case later. He joins us on the phone with more. Hello, sir.
Hello, Benny.
Thank you for joining the program. Now, let me start off the conversation with finding out exactly what is wrong with the case that I've just read, with a midwife asking a husband to cut the umbilical cord of his wife.
Yes, thank you very much. And a good morning to your viewers. Yes, in connection with the issue about Mrs. Sarah Sewa Major, the midwife at the Cradle Care Maternity Hospital Trust, the finding as per the Professional and Disciplinary Committee of the Governing Board found out that she practiced without a valid license.
Okay.
And also failed to observe basic professional midwifery standards in the care of the patient and her baby. Now, the question that you asked, the husband is not a practitioner. The husband has not been trained in that circumstance. So upon what basis will a midwife extend a request to a husband to perform a midwifery function?
Mr. Nyante, sorry, Nana, let me just come in. We see this happen in other countries, and is it that we don't permit that here within our laws and regulations?
There is involvement of men when it comes to family planning and midwifery services. But there is an extent to which non-practitioners can go. But at this circumstance, we believe that the basic professional midwifery standards were good. And that is how come the sanctions have been prepared on her.
All right. So we've seen the statement is of 2 separate cases, but it appears that the two incidents occurred in private facilities. You said
Yes, exactly,
earlier.
Exactly so.
All right. You said earlier, if I heard you right, that Mrs. Sarah Sewa Major didn't have a license.
She had, but I'm saying that she was operating without a valid license. Her license had expired.
Her license had expired. Does she own the facility?
Yes, she does.
She does. So once she owns the facility and was operating without a valid license, are we going to see any sanctions on the entire facility, or this is just to the individual?
So as far as the council is concerned, we have dealt with the practitioner upon which the complaint was made to the council. There is another agency, that is the Health Facilities Regulatory Agency under the Ministry of Health. They are the regulators of health facilities in the country. And we have written to them to also take up the matter. But as it is, the complaint was made against the practitioner. We have sat on the case, made our recommendations, and the sanctions have been made. The issue about the facility, we have directed the health regulatory facility agency to handle that aspect.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can. And let me just find out from you if any compensation of the sort has been given to the families or the complainants.
It is not within our mandate to discuss issues of compensation. The act upon which we derive our mandate allows us to exercise disciplinary powers over practitioners, and that is what we have done. All issues in relation to compensation, the complainants will handle that.
All right, so finally, after this suspension, what next?
Yeah, as per the statement, after a suspension, he is supposed to undergo a continuous professional development program, upon which, after he's done with the program, we will assess her, decide if she can practice or she cannot. But within the suspension period, she is not supposed to hold herself as a registered midwife or to render any midwifery service to any person.
All right. Okay. I know I said finally, but just let me just ask this one before you go. So these cases came to you because people complained. But what are you doing as the Nursing and Midwifery Council to ensure that your nurses or nurses within health facilities in the country are operating, one, with valid licenses and are doing what is expected of them according to your regulations?
Thank you very much. We have offices in all the regional capitals. We are yet to set up offices in the 6 new regions. Periodically, our officers visit health facilities to conduct supervision, and they do that in collaboration with the nurse managers, the medical officers in charge of those facilities, to ensure that the standards that we have set are being complied with, and also to ensure that all nursing and midwifery practitioners are practicing with valid license. So periodically we do that. But time has not allowed us to visit every facility in this country. And that is why, as per the statement, we are calling on the general public and the media to join us in this fight. But should we come across any issue of unprofessional conduct on the part of our nurses and midwives, to kindly bring it to our attention, and we will take the necessary action.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. Nana Boateng Agyemang is PRO of the Nurses and Midwifery Council, and we've been talking to him about the suspension of a nurse and a midwife. I brought you details earlier of the midwife, but the second one was against Madame Susanna Edu, And according to the complainant, on December 5, 2015, he realized that his 3-year-old son had a hot temperature, took him to the Doku Memorial Clinic, and said upon arrival they met her, Madame Susanna Edu, who observed his son and afterwards gave him 2 injections on the buttocks and later prescribed some medicines to be bought and administered. Eventually, what they observed there was some form of neglect, and because she asked that they go home with the boy who could not walk or talk. He later was transferred to a hospital, and she also refused to give a referral letter, and he later passed on.